very unhealthy level. Now the public is growingly impatient. The government needs to do more. Just pointing fingers at Indonesia and each other just won't do. There were calls from the NGOs, from the environmental groups for the government to enact similar laws like in Singapore against transboundary haze in a bid to bring the culprits behind the forest fires to face justice. Now, 4 Malaysian-linked plantation companies were identified by Indonesian authorities and some of the lands seized. Now, 3 have denied any involvement, while main board-listed KLK, Kuala Lumpur Kapong, has admitted their land was hit by forest fires and are currently assisting the investigations. Other citizen groups, remember we spoke about that yesterday, is trying to bring a legal suit against Indonesian government for a nominal sum of 1 ringgit. What they want is to seek a declaration to make sure that Indonesia is more serious in handling the perennial haze situation and to prevent its recurrence. Now, apart from that, the plan is to conduct more cloud seeding, although that's an expensive exercise and may not necessarily work. As we've seen in the last couple of days, haze returns the moment the rain's over.
This announcement comes as the country continues to choke under the pollution that's shrouding the region. Now, this is how things stand at the moment. Schools in 5 states, Selangor, Sarawak, Negeri Sembilan, Penang and Perak have been shut, along with those in the federal territories of Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya. This is a significant increase from yesterday when over 500 schools were forced to close nationwide. This comes as poor air quality persists across many parts of the country. More than 40 places are registering unhealthy to very unhealthy air quality levels. Some parents say it'd be good if the government can provide proper face masks to students, while others say all schools should close until the haze blows over.
Government must decide early if to continue school or not, because sometimes it can be
Haze is a slight obscuration of the lower atmosphere, typically caused by fine suspended particles. Consists of sufficient smoke and dust suspended in air to impair visibility. Haze pollution can be said to be transboundary if its density and extent is so great and source that it remains at measurable levels after crossing into another country's airspace. The main cause of this haze is caused by slash and burning farming and uncontrollable forest fire rather than air pollution caused by common industrial productions. The problem of large-scale air pollution caused by the fires is quite serious, especially during the dry season. The smoke produced by burning has caused varying degrees of impact of many countries in Southeast Asia, such as Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore.
Indonesia continues to grip parts of peninsular Malaysia, especially in the Klang Valley and southern Sarawak. As of 6 p.m, Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, as well as 5 states recorded unhealthy API readings. Satellite photos from the ASEAN Specialized Meteorological Center showed low-level winds from Sumatra covering most of southern parts of Malaysia.
Indonesia was badly affected by haze in 1997, 2005 and 2015. The 1997 Southeast Asian haze was a large-scale air quality disaster that occurred during the second half of 1997. Its after effects caused widespread atmospheric visibility and health problems within Southeast Asia. The total cost of the Southeast Asian haze are estimated at $9 billion, due mainly to health care and disruption of air travel and business activities. Its northward extension partially reached Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, Thailand, and the Philippines, and its westward extension reached Sri Lanka. During this period, particulate matter concentration frequently exceeded national ambient air quality standard. In 2005, the haze was caused by lingering smoke from forest fire in Indonesian island of Sumatra. Farmers regularly burn scrub and forests to clear land during the dry season for agricultural purposes. But this had been the worst haze to hit Malaysia after the 1997 haze. The haze had continued for a week and almost brought the central part of Peninsular Malaysia to a standstill. This caused crisis talk with Indonesia and prompted a widespread inconvenience. In 2015, Southeast Asian haze was caused by mass illegal burning in Indonesia and resulted in over a month of haze in Malaysia, Singapore, and parts of Thailand. This had triggered school closures and disruption of air travel. The haze was caused annually by Indonesian palm oil producers burning off forest growth in remote areas to clear land for planting. The haze was considered among the worst in history according to a NASA scientist.
There are few ways to prevent haze. Firstly, keep the air clean by avoiding open burning. Open burning will release toxic chemicals such as sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide to the atmosphere. This will cause severe health problems, which are asthma and shortness of breath. Secondly, drive less and practice carpool. It is important as it ensures less amount of smokes are being emitted from the vehicles. This is because when more people drive, a lot of road dust and other particles will be released directly into the atmosphere. The size of the particles will become larger as humidity increases and thus reducing the visibility. What we can do is carpool with friends instead of driving alone and take public transport where it is a good option to prevent haze. Next, stop forest fires. These forest fires were usually caused by slash and burn methods used by farmers. Trees and plants are being cut down and left to dry. Once dried, the biomass is burned, resulting in a layer of ash that provides the newly cleared land with a nutrient-rich layer that makes the soil fertile. Other than that, educating people, especially smallholder farmers, is important in order to reduce haze. This This is to expose the effective methods to increase soil fertility instead of using slash and burn techniques. Besides, it will help to ensure they will be aware of the effect of the slash and burn techniques. Next, remove sulfur from coal. There are few uses of coal. For example, some industries use coal to generate electricity. However, without proper management, it can lead to haze. What industries can do is install flue gas desulfurization or scrubbers to clean the sulfur from the coal. It is found that the process of desulfurization can eliminate sulfur from coal before it undergoes the burning process. Not only that, it will ensure the smoke that is released from the smokestacks will not contain hazardous particulates from the coal that is being burned. Therefore, the possibility for industries to release smoke that contain harmful particles to the atmosphere can be reduced and thus can prevent haze from occurring. Not only that, government needs to implement a law that will punish companies that cause burning of forest fires. This is to ensure they will think before they act because the government will take action on this situation. Last but not least, cooperation from ASEAN countries is also needed to prevent haze problems from repeating.
Malaysia is seeking a solution to address the transboundary haze issue. For a short-term solution, Malaysia did a cloud seeding. Cloud seeding is to bring temporary relief in badly hit areas. This involves spraying chemicals from aircraft in order to spur rainfall. Second, Malaysia deploying drones to help in cloud seeding. The several number of drones can be used at one time and deployed in particular area which is badly affected by haze.
Information as to the cost, but we are suggesting now that we use drones. We use drones to form artificial rain. Yeah, you know, the drones can go to and fro like that. We can use several of them, and particularly with regard to Putrajaya, which is very badly affected by haze.
Third, through Transboundary Haze Pollution Act. In 2014, Singapore adopted a Transboundary Haze Pollution Act that holds entities accountable for action that cause or contribute to haze. Following that, Malaysia tabled its own Transboundary Haze Pollution Act in September 2019. However, in August 2020, the new Malaysian government announced its decision to shelve the act, citing sovereignty concern and a need for Asian regional cooperation. The decision was made after taking into considerations Singapore's experience and views from legal experts including the Attorney General Chamber. The government also believes that the best step is to enhance cooperation with neighbouring countries and Asia. Diplomatic notes was also used as part of the solution. Diplomatic note can be sent by one state's foreign ministry to another state to tackle Haze situations. For example, in the Haze issue, Malaysia sent the diplomatic note to Indonesia to cooperate and discuss the preventative measures that can be taken to solve the Haze issue.
In order to overcome haze pollution, Asian Agreement on Transboundary Haze Pollution was proposed in 2001 and adopted in 2002. This agreement aims to prevent, monitor, and mitigate land and forest fires to control transboundary haze pollution through concerted national efforts, regional and international cooperation. The agreement entered into force in 2003 and has been ratified by all Asian member states. The Asian member states are Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, Brunei, Myanmar, Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, Philippines, and Indonesia. The agreement contains measures on monitoring and assessment, prevention, preparedness, national and joint emergency response, procedure for deployment of people, materials, and equipment across borders, and technical cooperation and scientific research. The year 1997 and 2015 recorded the worst haze to ever hit the Southeast Asian region, forcing Malaysia to declare an emergency. Haze comprises a high volume of organic and inorganic particulate matter that are hazardous to health. These include polyaromatic hydrocarbons and metals like lead, chromium, cadmium, zinc, and iron. It is not only dangerous to the respiratory system, but it also has the potential to cost the Malaysian economy millions of ringgit. For example, the haze cost Indonesia roughly 140 billion ringgit in 2015, while Singapore lost an estimated 2.4 billion ringgit over the same year. The 3-month haze that covered Malaysia in 1997 cost the country 901 million, primarily in the tourism sector. In conclusion, haze pollution in Malaysia is man-made. It is caused by the uncontrolled burning of forests and pit to clear land for locals and foreign palm oil plantation on Indonesia's Sumatra Island. However, domestic elements such as industry, motor vehicles, and open burning, on the other hand, have all contributed to the worsening of the haze. Haze should not be normalized, as it causes a lot of ecological, economic, and health effects. Although many initiatives have been done to overcome it, the haze phenomenon is still far away from recovery. This is mainly because of the lack of law enforcement from the government and the lack of reliable data to identify who is responsible for setting peatland and forest fire.